Celebrate him as he comes up. Clap with a clap offering as he comes up. We love you, sir. We love you, sir.
All right. You don't want to clap for me? Please clap for me. I came here before all of you. Clap for me. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I'll be out of your face in a bit, and then they will come back and they will let you know which school came first. Pastor, my pastor. It's an honor. Well done, sir. I didn't see you when you entered. It's good to see you, sir. It's good to see you, sir. All right. My task is simple. I'm going to call some names. You will tell me the name you know. All right. Some of you may not know some of the names, and it's okay. So I'll start. Pius Okigbo. Who knows? Lawrence Okigbo. Who knows? Cyprian Ekwensi. Who knows? Olarotimi. Who knows? Zulu Sofola. Who knows? Okay, Wole Soyinka. Who knows? Chikeobi. Who knows? PNOKK. Who knows? You know, I've named to you people who belong in a single generation. Nigeria's finest generation. The only person in all of those names that I called that is still alive is Wole Soyinka, and he's 90. The last time we had a people who were so driven to leave their name on the earth, leave it bold, leave it strong, that nobody would ever forget them. The last time we had them was before the Civil War. You know the theme of your program? Who knows? Who knows? Scream it like you know it now. Exactly. So I just read to you a set of names of men who lived, who were like this, who were your age mates, who were your age group 80 years ago. And they were Nigeria's finest. That was the last time we had people who lived so bright, it was impossible to look away from them. Chikeobi was the first mathematics professor in the whole of Africa. PNOKK still has your textbook, physics textbook you read till today. Wole Soyinka, okay, I don't need to introduce him. Pius Okigbo was the first. He's actually described as Africa's most lyrical poet. He died in 1967. What I'm trying to tell you is there is a gap. And that gap is almost 60 years deep. I wish I was talking to a more matured audience. 60 years deep. The last time we had outstanding Nigerians, men who could be truly global, people whose ideas could span both our continent and all the other 6 continents add to us to make 7. It was about 80 years ago. Are you still with me? But in 80 years, we've had students go to secondary school. Many of them graduate universities. We've had people who got degrees, people who started jobs, we've had generations come and go. And now there is a big gap. And that gap is the gap we are calling you to try and fill. Excuse me. I'm actually trying to psych myself up to motivate you to be the next Philip Emeagwali. I don't even know if you can actually believe that about yourself. You study computer in school and you don't have a computer. Are you with me? So I'm going to help you this afternoon, and this is what I'm going to tell you. The excellent mind, the person who is going to stand out in his generation, will endeavor to do one single thing, would endeavor to rise above his own environment. Now, that environment can be physical. It can be relational, family. It can even be school. The person who is going to excel and stand out in this age and time and represent their own dispensation and their own generation as an impossible light, that person must learn first to rise above their environment. You don't get it? Because if you are at par with your environment, it's only going to take a competitive force to filter you out. You know, your biggest mistake is to think that you are Nigerian and to make that your biggest definition. Yours might be the generation of people who would have to travel the world without international passports. Yours might be. Currently, globalization has shrunk economic boundaries. Yours might be the generation where physical boundaries fall off. Your biggest limitation is that you have defined yourself as a Nigerian. Your biggest limitation is that you have not told yourself that you are a citizen of the earth, so that you can define yourself by what every other person like you in the rest of the world is doing. You know, when I was your age, my play field was on the streets. We just use stones to make blocks to make posts, and we're already playing. I can play from one street to the next, from one street to the next. Come back home in the evening, it's like 5 naira. I would have eaten all through that. My friends, I knew them. My hood, I knew them. Your generation, your play field is on the phone. You know, while I was busy playing on the field, my age mates in some other part of the world were thinking of how they would tell my children to play. I had no idea. I thought I was a Nigerian, and that's the best I could define myself as. But I did not understand that as a citizen of the world, my competition was never Nigerian. Oops. Oh, I wish I had a more matured audience. It looks like I'm talking over your head. Because your competition is not this girl. Nah, it's not the person who comes first in class. Now, that's not your level. Your competition is a boy like you, same age, same class, in China, doing something that would make you very irrelevant and insignificant tomorrow. That's your competition. I didn't know what my friends were doing while I was going to school. I didn't know what the boys in US were doing, the boys in UK were doing, the boys in China were doing. We didn't have a TV in my house. I had no idea how fast the world was moving. So I thought that by coming first in class, I was good enough. You know, you think you run an examination system in this country. All you're doing, all you're learning for is just to pass exam. So you've passed all the exams there is to pass, and you still don't know much. Are you with me? Who's still with me? Okay, nobody's with me at all. Okay, these guys on this side are with me. Are you with me on this side? So you've gone from GS1 to GS2 to GS3 to SS1 to SS2 to SS3. And you think that you've been succeeding because you've been passing exams. The whole goal of your education was knowledge, not exams. Okay. That's why with every exam you have passed, you still cannot. They debated to us about AI and robotics. How many of us have built a robot? Which one person here has a working knowledge on how to build a robot? You know, that's how we debated too. We talked about everything that was happening, and we had no knowledge about how to make it happen. We need a generation of Nigerians, I beg you. One generation that will stand out and decide to master everything there is to master about the thing they are chasing. It's not enough to pass exams. You want to be a scientist? What branch of science? You want to study computer science? Exactly where? What do you want to master? I'll summarize with this because I feel like I'm not getting you. I work with a young boy. I work as a coach sometimes. I work with a young boy in Canada. He's finishing high school. He has a 6-year journey. He's going to go through 4 years of college, university, and then 2 years graduate school. But right now, he's struggling in high school to pass his exams. So the mother got me to work with him. So I asked the boy, what's your biggest challenge? He said he wanted to pass his exams. So I told him, let's draw a map for you. If you pass all the exams you need to pass in this life, where are you going to arrive? And then he realized, okay, I want to be an investment banker. And I said, okay, how long would it take you to go from where you are now to investment banking? He said 6 years. I asked him, what would happen in those 6 years? He has to finish high school. He has to finish 2 years of college and 2 years of university. That's 4 years of BSc. And then he has to go and do a master's for 24 months. And then I asked him the real question, what do you need to know? in these 6 years to be an investment banker? What do you need to know? Now, that's the question you want to ask yourself. Whatever it is you have decided to become now, the question you want to ask yourself right now, right here is, what do I need to know to become this person? And to answer that question, you need to look at what every other person in the world who is doing that thing now knows, because that forms your knowledge part. The moment you find it, my friend, it becomes your sole responsibility, not your teachers, sadly. Your teachers would only teach you what they know, and I love my teachers. They can't teach beyond what they know. And sadly, they learned what they knew in the past. Okay, it went over your head too. So they are custodians of something powerful, but it's the past. You are the one who will walk into a future. What I'm trying to tell you is that what your teachers will give you is just the foundation of what you need to know to be everything you have chosen to be. The hard work is yours. The question is, are you going to pursue it, or you want to still keep struggling with exams? I realized early, well, not very early, maybe like 100 level, but I didn't need to pass exams. I needed to know. It didn't matter who passed me or who failed me. What I knew was what I could take to the market. I knew very well then. So from that moment when I go to school, I ask every semester, what is our full curriculum for that semester? And that's what I don't even ever, there's never a day I raised up my hand in a hall and I asked my teacher, what is area of concentration for exam? I don't do that nonsense. It doesn't concern me. My whole goal was to know. So I will take it. So every time I entered the hall, it was not a test that I wanted to pass. No. The examination was a test of my own personal knowledge. Anything I did not know, I cannot know inside the hall. So if I don't know it, I'll check out. It just tells me I've not known anything. So I have to go home and learn again. I don't ask anybody question in the exam hall. What I cannot know before I come, I will not know inside that place. Whoever tells me what I have not known before is making me, that's the biggest disservice you do to me. You give me assumed knowledge. Assumed knowledge is the worst kind of knowledge. It's the assumption that you know what you do not know. It's worse than ignorance. It never opens you up to learning. How much do you need to know to become what you have to become? That is your own responsibility. Finding it is not your teachers. It is not. My father did not think well to buy me a textbook. He's my father. His responsibility was to make sure I have food and a house. I respect that for him. He worked hard. He couldn't afford a textbook. It was my responsibility to find knowledge anywhere it existed. You carry a fancy phone and all you do is chat with some random boy who is like you, going nowhere. Excuse me? Five years from now, you will not see him again. I've got boys who will play football on the street together. I don't know where they exist today. 18 years have come and gone. I've not seen them a day in my life. They were the bane of my existence 17 years ago. They were like oxygen to me. If I didn't see them, it was like dying. Who would have told me that you will go 2 decades without these boys and your life will still keep flying? Excuse me. You've got that thing on your hand that connects you to everybody. If you want to build a hydrogen bomb, you can. There's a YouTube video to teach you how to build something that will destroy the earth. And all you use it for is chat. Legit, like chat. TikTok. I mean, you're dancing. That's all? Do you know that the boy who gave you TikTok was, my God, I can't even talk about the boys. I told you, let me finish this so I can get out your face because I'm getting a little pissed. I was doing NYC, sir. We were coming from a place of primary assignment, myself and my fellow coppers. And then we stopped by the woman to buy puff-puff. And then she wrapped our puff-puff inside the newspaper, as it were. And then we picked our puff-puff and we're eating. As I was going, I dropped the paper and I looked on it. And then I picked it up. It was the 3 boys that started Facebook. And it was then I knew that even the 2 that followed Zuckerberg to start it and later left were billionaires and they own only 1% of Facebook. I wrapped the thing well. Just kept my friends are looking at me, are you okay? I'm very fine. These boys are my age. No, I'm even older than them. And they are creating the playground for the future. And you think that my life matter? All these things I'm doing make sense? My friends, sir, your biggest pursuit as a young person should be to figure out how you can by yourself create a dent in time. Ay, oh. I don't know how to explain this to you so you'll understand it. How to make yourself unforgettable. How to make it impossible for people to forget that you were here. It's not in how fine your face is or how good your hair was or how... Nah. It's in the content of your molten soul that you pour upon the earth. The innate intelligence you allow to bear upon this space and make it impossible for people to forget that you came. You force yourself into their lives. Generations. The last time we had stars in our nation was 80 years ago. I want to beg you. If I can lie down, I'll lie down. I want to beg you. Can you get beyond yourself? Just go past yourself and try and aim for something. If you cannot see the future from where you are standing, change position. I mean, if the position is your friends, get off them, go and stand in a place where you can see it. Go stand where you can see a very possible future and give your all to pursue it, sir. Hello, everything. See, at the time you realize, you come to the end, you realize that nothing else matters. Nothing else. All the things they are doing now will not matter. All the things they are chasing now will not matter. There will be new musicians, sir. There will be new clothes, sir. There will be new dance styles, sir. You will see circles come. You know, now they wear baggy again. We used to wear baggy in our time. Wasn't too long ago, though. It was the in thing. Now it's all back. It's going to come back again 20 years later when you'll be 37. You'll see the circle repeat. We're not doing anything new. We become a continent of averages. All of us, they take the sum of all of us divided by our number. All of us are competing with each other. Nobody is standing out. I didn't come to motivate you. I hope you don't understand that. I didn't come to try and psych you up. There is a heavy need in your country. 33, that's the number. 33 million Nigerians are at risk of hunger. 33 million. You know what 33 million is? Huh? That's almost 15, 16 times the size of some countries in Europe. And yet, how is it that we are this much and we can't produce our own food? If I want to kill a Nigerian, it's so simple. I'll just bring him food. If I want to kill you guys in mass, it's so simple. I'll bring you canned chicken and put cyanide in it. And I'll have wiped up the nation because they can't produce their own food. That's the smallest thing, food. I'm not talking about clothes. Your biro is from China. The thread on your head is from China. You understand that? That you are the only thing local about you is you. Everything on you came from somebody else who is thinking. Put a dent in time. Do your utmost. Stretch yourself. Sweat blood. Read if you don't understand. Cry until you get it. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. That's how you study. Look for other textbooks to check what you already know and see if it's a little different. If you are going to chat, go on education sites. Connect with people outside. The first time I knew that people were studying something or studying abroad, I was in my school's, what's it called, a hall like this. We used to have our computers there. And I was chatting with someone in the US. And she said, hey, my sister studies industrial maths. And I was like, okay, what do they do in your sister's school in industrial maths? When she reeled it down to me, it was nothing compared to what they were doing in my own school. So while I was busy studying maths, basic calculation and algebra, they were doing the actual thing they should be doing as industrial mathematicians. So you think that if I had now passed in my school, I came out with first class, mercurially smart guy, but when it comes to global content, I'm an illiterate. You get what that means? Find out what they are doing in that place you are dreaming across the world. Align. That's your competition. Your competition is not a student in Awodiora or the one in Awori or the one in Lagos State College. No, those guys are not your competition. They are victims like you inside the same stew of pot, learning the past. You, my friend, are the generation that will deliver the future. The question is, are you ready? Can we trust you? Can we bank on you? Can we go to sleep with the fact that you are alive and you are learning? Can we rest knowing that in another 5 years we'll hear your name and it will be so loud, it will be impossible not to hear? Huh? And it's going to be a very Nigerian name. No, not Laura. Mabinwa Kego. Organeru Kewe. So Nigerian, heavy plosives locked inside it, but you've got to learn it because she made a dent in time. If you don't know it, you don't know her. It's no problem. Can we trust you? Can we depend on you? Can you be our last hope this generation? Thank you.
If you are not clapping, you have a problem. It's today I know that we are still playing. We are still like, Jesus. He even said Wole Soyinka is 90 years old. You are on TikTok doing amachukuchukuchuku. Abi, amachukuchukuchu. If they slap you, let me tell you the truth, Our result is ready, sir. Almost ready. Fine boy. Fine girl when no get brain a bread box. Fine girl when no get brain a bread box. Fine boy when no get brain. Now get bread. Hope you learn what Mr. Kayode taught us now. This generation is just a YouTube and I was talking to one guy, he has watched all the film on YouTube. Maurice Sam. He mentioned another one.